to learn around customers and partners, how to collaborate. I also want to know what were the obstacles, what were the challenges, what did we overcome? So I would like to welcome on stage Sébastien, Pache, Aarno, Aukia, and Danny Poetsch.
Good. Oh wow, looks even more amazing from up here, to be honest. It's actually incredible how many people are in this room right now. So, we heard a lot about Red Hat and a lot from Red Hatters, and I think now it's actually the time to hear from the people who really matter in this group of people that are here. I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest, because in the morning Lemar told me he would actually perform a stage dive after his sessions. I don't know what happened there, but we need to come back to that definitely. I have the great pleasure to be here on stage today with a customer and a partner of ours. Welcome Sébastien and Aarno, it's really a pleasure, especially for me since this is already my second time at Red Hat. For the ones who don't know me, I've been here before, I left, and I'm more than happy to be back right now. It's an absolute honor to be here with you on stage today. So Sébastien, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are.
So my name is Sébastien Pache. Probably some people around, like the one at the bar there, know me since probably a good 10 years, because I've been around the open source community, on Red Hat community since a long time. And nowadays I'm there as the VP of Engineering of Taurus, one of the Swiss company, and we provide some crypto services, and I will probably speak about it a bit later.
My name is Aarno Aukia. I'm co-founder and head of growth at Vision, the jobs company, and I'm happy to be here as a partner.
So Sébastien, Taurus, I can imagine not many people in this room ever heard about Taurus and what you guys doing. Give us a little wrap up about your company.
Yeah, sure, I can. So at Taurus, what we consider ourselves as an enabler. And what do we enable? We enable financial institutions, regulated or not, mostly regulated nowadays, it's a trend, to interact with the digital asset ecosystem. Could be cryptocurrencies, your Ethers, could be NFT, that's very trendy nowadays also, or more recently, tokenizing company shares, tokenizing debt, tokenizing structured products, or making assets which are not free more free. And for this, we offer the whole set of software. Could be issuance, custodian, management of private key for people in the crypto around here. And also we are offering now Nexus platform, which is regulated by FINMA. We'll also come back to this kind of topic later on, because this enforces a high level of excellencies in our software.
Great, thanks so much, Aarno. For the ones who don't, I think it's going close to zero, but maybe a short history about Vision.
Sure. So I co-founded the company in 2014 because we felt that there was a gap between what software developers are willing to do and what infrastructure is able to provide. And so we started with automating software development pipelines, infrastructure as code, and providing 24/7 support for the customers running applications. And that was also the reason for us in 2015 to start developing our OpenShift as a service called Puyo that we launched in the beginning of 2016. And we've been doing OpenShift as a service ever since, now running about 50 clusters in 16 countries worldwide. In 2019, we started launching different open source tools, like how we manage OpenShift. For example, KTOP, our backup operator, that was accepted into the CNCF. So now it's a sister project to Kubernetes itself 2 years ago. And also we published our, we call it the Chargeback Operator++. So all the metering tools to meter how much people are using OpenShift to be able to send invoices to, basically. And we also have what we call the application catalog, which is not only providing OpenShift on any infrastructure, on-prem, virtual, cloud, private cloud, edge, but also different standard software, databases, reverse proxies, cache queue, whatever you need on top of OpenShift as a managed service. So wherever the open hybrid cloud lives, we can deliver services as well.
Right, so I really can see why this is a great match between you guys. Sébastien, back to you, because like Sanja said, right, customer first, so we need to talk you first today. I can imagine at one point last year you guys sat together and said we're going to need to change something. So how did this project start at Taurus from the beginning?
It's probably earlier than last year's, because we're working together since almost 4 years now. But yeah, how it started, the company is kind of news. We started in 2018, I think, or 16. But basically, at the beginning, we were developing our software. The bank wanted to run on-prem. That's the classic old school style. And as we discussed later on, now we see a very large trend, and not only in Switzerland, but worldwide, about hybrid deployment. Hybrid deployment meaning my systems is composed of various parts, a database, software, and HSM, for the providers, and I would like to run it in a different way. Like I would like Taurus to manage the software and database while I keep my HSM on-prem. Then this requires to have not a SaaS service providing, because for those kind of clients it's not a SaaS, but a managed services, because they need a high level of quality, and also they are regulated. For whom are familiar with FINMA, we call it sensitive outsourcing or critical outsourcing. So you need to be able to provide those kind of software to your client as a services without breaking their compliance and regulation. And there comes the SLA, the infrastructure you need, the high level of quality, the high level of follow-up, control, security, and so on. And this is where, in the journey, when we decided that, yes, at Taurus, our value added is designing secure crypto custodian and issuance platforms. It's not having to manage a secure infrastructures, but locally we knew partners. We knew, for example, Exoscale, who can offer us a secure infrastructures. We knew Visions, who can offer us a secure platform as a services. And applying the correct segregation of UT, we can ensure the highest level of quality, SLA, and security for clients, and scalability.
Okay, then maybe a little bit about you. How did you then in the end get in touch with Vision? I can imagine you didn't decide on the technology first, so first going for a partner and then move on from there.
Yeah, this is a cool story. So basically, for one of me around here, I was at leshop.ch when we were like the first in Switzerland to run OpenShift 1, and we were arguing with Lennart and Dan Walsh about how painful it was at the time. Who been there at that time? No. And then we knew each other from that time, because we were at the beginning of the story. And of course, when it came time to find a good partners, I asked Aarno to be part of the RFP, because we are a regulated entity. I had to do this. And of course, they get the highest scoring, because they are most of the most knowledgeable entity in Europe running OpenShift for us. And this is how the process goes.
Okay, so hearing that, I imagine you already decided to go with managed service in the end, obviously. What was the reason behind that?
So why we go with managed services? There is something I would like to track back into two concepts. There is the concept of providers, and there is the concept of partners. A bit like the person just before said, it's a mindset, a way of developing things. When you work with our partners, it's an extension of your team. When you work with our providers, it provides you a service. You have a single interface, and that's it. And this is why, when we saw the requirement of the client, the capability we need to have, the response time we need to offer, we listed two things. The first one, we need our stack to be supported bottom up. We need to have quick response time in terms of incident and quality insurance that security fixes come quickly and work. The second one, we need scalability in terms of operations. We need to have for people to be sick. We need to have also that quality of response time. And this is why we decided we need to go on a managed services, because we don't have the size and the sheer capacity for, and we need to know with supported product. Even if sometimes we are not of the same opinion as with that, it's still a good product, supported product of high quality.
Amazing, great, thanks a lot. So maybe a little bit more into detail on that. So how actually do your customers now benefit from it? Do you have any current case you're working on where you can really explain how customers benefit from your technology?
Oh, we have various use cases. One which is very well known is Coca or Cocoa in the German way. Swiss platforms, that's really e-commerce platforms, decided to do that fundraising through our platforms, and they raised 1 million in 1 minute. That was a bit of a cool thing. And also, you probably saw that we raised some funds recently, and in that fundraising, you saw some public name. Those public names like Credit Suisse, Vontobel, Deutsche Bank are actors who are emerging into the crypto market, and those are not people who are testing the waters, they are moving in. And by moving in, they're moving at scale, and they trust us to host those environments and to try to host them at scale. So we don't speak about thousands of clients, we speak about millions of clients having billions into custody. And this is how we leverage this platform, because bottom up we decided to work with products that we assess being of good quality and also being supported the correct way, so that way we can be sure that we construct security with a solid bedrock.
Great, so I think we already heard why vision and why this move, and to put some smiles on the Red Hatters' faces in here. So what was the end criteria why you decided for Red Hat?
Why we go for Red Hat? So first of all, because I knew the ecosystem, I know how it's working internally. I've been there around a long time, and also when you come to that scale, on those priorities, in terms of security, of availability, of patching methodology, of capacity to provide patches, you end up having a requirement. You need the product to be well thought, so that means it needs to be opinionated, because you need a solution which is supported and which is solving an issue. You might not agree with the solution, but at least there is a solution, and when you apply it, it works. It may be stupid, but sometimes when you buy a hammer and you want to nail something, it has to work. And that's not the case for a lot of products on the market nowadays, and this is one of the great strengths of Red Hat, and especially of OpenShift. It is mature. It has grown into maturity over the years, and it is a fantastic Kubernetes platform, opinionated, yes, but working.
Thanks so much, at least I'm going to sleep tight tonight. Thank you for that. So, maybe to you, Aarno, tell us a little bit about the partnership between you and Taurus. So what's your secret sauce of success there?
I think both for collaboration with Taurus and also for Red Hat, I think we have an excellent match in values. And I think you already mentioned like openness. For me, that's like both like openness in open source and collaboration in code. We do pull requests to each other if necessary. That's a great way of collaborating, especially if you have an engineering background. Another thing is like transparency, right? To talk together, to speak together not only when things are, when there's issues to be solved, but also in good times, and that establishes the connection and the trust, so that you can then be both proactive and effective in solving problems if there are problems. And I think that's things, and that's values, that's how we work with Taurus, that's how we work with Red Hat, and then I hope that everybody can work like that.
Sébastien, 1 or 2 words?
Same. One of the magic, if it's magic, is that vision is a partner. A bit like Red Hat, otherwise I wouldn't be here today. We consider visions people as an extension of our own teams. We work very closely when it goes well, or when it goes bad, when there is incidents, or when there is also time to celebrate. And we like this approach where when we have a big project, they are part of the project. They come to the kickoff meeting and we say, okay, we have that big customer that needs to be deployed. It's going to be a classic deployment, but it might be bigger in scale. It might have some things which are a bit more special for this client, or we need to process some data in other ways, and we figure out together what the best way for them to respect the requirement and level of security they to provide us, on us to offer that services to our client. And this is something I never emphasize enough. It is a difference between having a partners and a provider.
Absolutely right. So for me, as working in the ecosystem, it's just nice to hear that the things we preach like every day actually work in the real world. So thank you very much for that. Maybe one quick look back. Any lessons learned through the whole project? Are there any things you would do differently now?
What I would do differently in the way we code up, I would say I would have gone to managed services earlier, because at the beginning we tried on it ourselves because it was a demand, and I would have fight harder to go that way. And also, our product has been designed to be cloud native first, but I would also have taken into consideration the cost of running it in terms of license and so on, and I will optimize, and that's what we do now with Vision, when they help us to resplit our software in a way to not only optimize the availability of the software, but also the cost efficiency. And this is a lesson that we learned because we grow. Imagine, we were 2 people 5 years ago, we are 100 now, and we grew up from 20 to 1 million of containers over 3 data centers. Things get in scale, and by getting in scale now, we're doing that exercise when we need to also reshape our software to be an equal level of quality, but being more cost efficient.
Anything from you today? I mean, could also something regarding Reddit, obviously, we all need to learn.
There's one thing that comes to my mind, that is in 2018 we published our first version of our Kubernetes manifesto. We believe that Kubernetes is the right tool to orchestrate services, orchestrate software. And I think in hindsight there's much more we could have done to accelerate that, to do that earlier. From 2014 to 2018 we accumulated about 3,000 VM-based deployments that we are still in the process of migrating. So that's something that I would probably hope to be quicker and hope to be more strict maybe about in the future.
Okay, awesome. Maybe just to close this, a little outlook in the future. I'm not going to ask where do you see yourself in 5 years, but you know, what's your goal when you think about moving forward with Red Hat and moving forward with Vision?
So one of the first things is the company is growing. We're growing internationally. We are having our first client in the Caribbean area. We are now expanding into Europe. We're working with key partners. We spoke about Exascale, for example, and we are now clients which have the same requirement as us. That instead of I need my cluster to run in Switzerland, now we have some kind people from the BaFin who are telling us you need to run your cluster in Germany. This is just mandatory, and this is a very big challenge also for Vision, because we will need to expand the way we manage those different clusters and scale in a very quick way while keeping our quality. And this is a big challenge because you know all the recruitment market today. It's very difficult to find good profile, and that's typically the kind of challenge we have now. But we are as we are growing now, I think we have to create partners first.
Great, thanks a lot. Maybe from you, Aarno, from the partner perspective, how do you see us working together in the future?
Absolutely, yeah. I think we have I absolutely agree with, for example, what the previous speaker said about the open hybrid cloud. For example, both, or actually all our products are exactly that. Not only OpenShift itself, but also the services that run on top of OpenShift run on any of those deployment models. And that's also something I believe in and have bet my company on it, let's put it this way. And thus I feel that we are extremely well aligned with Red Hat, and of course being proud to be the first Swiss Red Hat premier CCSP partner to prove that.
Very, very amazing. Thanks a lot for that. So just to wrap this up, it's an amazing story to see how ecosystem really works. And funny thing, not even a single Red Hat sales was involved in this project. So there you can see how important our ecosystem really is. And sometimes we can just step back, sit down and relax and let you guys do the work. Thanks a lot for being with me.
Also, thank you very much for your contribution, for your insights. I heard open hybrid cloud, I heard collaboration, I heard transparency.